Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. It's time for another payday prep. I was thinking of releasing this video on Monday, but I might as well release it today. As you can see, I have a variety of things on this table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push everything to the side, go everything with you all one by one and tell you why I got it. And there's one thing in particular that I'm going to save to the end to show you that is a huge, huge money saver. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I want to show you is I actually purchased more first aid related items. However, they haven't made it in yet, but this has. A lot of people don't think about toothaches, all right, for a crisis situation where maybe you can't get to a dentist or a doctor or someone that can apply something that will get rid of a toothache. And a toothache, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree with me if you've had a bad one in the past, it's probably one of the worst things that you can experience. So during some kind of a crisis situation or a situation where you just can't get to a doctor or a dentist in a timely manner, having something like this is a lifesaver. Now, I do know that there are other natural applications that you can use for toothache. I believe I've heard some people say that you can put clove oil on a tooth for toothaches, and I know that to be a fact because I remember that when I was a child, my mom would have me chew on cloves, whole cloves, if I had a toothache, if it was like during the weekend or something and we couldn't get to a dentist. So having something that can alleviate toothaches, I think, is a great idea to have. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do any of you know what these are? I'm sorry if you can't see very well because of the sun, but I'm going to explain to you what these are. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Here, about a couple of weeks ago, I started feeling one of my ears feel like, this may be a little gross, all right, but it's life, ladies and gentlemen. I started like I couldn't hear that well out of one of my ears. And then I woke up one morning and my ear felt plugged. So I thought I was getting a cold or something, but that's not what it was. I figured out that my ears were just full of wax. And I put warm water in them and I put some topical fluid in there that's supposed to be for cleaning your ears. Nothing would work, nothing. So I started doing a little research and I found these things, and especially this right here, this one right here. I hope you can see it. What you do with this is you actually twist it as you're putting it in your ear. Now do your own research, ladies and gentlemen, because this could be dangerous if you go too far in. But you twist this as you're putting it in your ear. And as you can see, it's a little wire that's spiraled all the way up to the top. And as you twist it, it grabs all of the earwax that's blocking your ear canal. And then you pull it out and it works outstanding. So it was to the point where I could barely hear out of my right ear. And then I went to the bathroom. I got a cup of hot water, really, really hot water, you know, almost boiling really. I put it on the counter. I went ahead and applied this into my ear. And I pulled out a whole bunch of wax out of there. And then I took this and I spun it around in the hot water and it melted all the wax, and I kept doing that until all the wax was out. And let me tell you what, it worked perfectly. I was so impressed with this that I feel that this is a must-have, because even during non-crisis situations, why do you want to spend the copay that you need to spend to go and get earwax taken out of your ears, right? Unless you have really sensitive ears, you have problems and stuff like that. But it would have taken me a trip to the doctor. I'm sure they would have taken the wax out of my ears, no problem, right? But I would have had to take the time to go there. This took me all of 5 to 10 minutes at the most, right? So this is something that I've never talked about, but I think that it's something that's very important to have now that I've experienced what it's like having clogged ears and not being able to hear fully because your ears are full of wax. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to carve my own spoons. I love spoons, and if you ask my wife or Victor, 99% of the times, no matter what I'm eating, even if it's steak, I cut up the steak first into little pieces, and I only eat with spoons. It's very rare that I eat with a fork. Maybe if I'm having spaghetti or something like that, I'll eat with a fork. But 99% of the time, it's with spoons. And I've always wanted to learn how to carve spoons. And this is, I want to call it a prep, because let's say, for example, that you're left to your own to take care of yourselves. Run your garden, run your farm, whatever it is to sustain yourself. Yes, that in itself is going to be a lot of work. But there's downtime in any and every situation. And why not spend your downtime doing something that you enjoy, that brings you peace, and something that's productive as well. So I bought this little wood carving set. And it's just a little $18, $20 set. It's not very expensive. And it comes with a wood carving knife. And they are very sharp. I'm not sure what this is called. You guys can tell me what kind of knife this is. I know it says it on the box somewhere, but you guys let me know what kind of knife this is. What you see here is 250 feet of Romex wire. And this is the kind of wiring that they use when they wire houses. Right? It's 250 feet of it. And like I said, this is probably doubled in price since I wired my house a few years back. But I got this. I got some of these Romex wire staples. You get to affix the wire to wood or whatever surface you're trying to affix it to. I got a small set of wire strippers. I really didn't need this, but one thing that I've been doing for a long time is that whenever I work on a project, either be it a construction project or an electrical project as you see here or something like that, I always told myself, always buy yourself an additional tool that you don't have. I have the wire cutter strippers, but I've always bought like one additional small tool that I don't have that would make life easier. And this would make life easier. I can use my other wire stripper that's a full size, but this is made just for stripping wires. So I went ahead and picked this up. And I think it was like $6 or something like that. So it's something I've always done. It's a good way of building up your tool collection over time, just a little bit at a time. I also got some electrical wire. The reason I got one is because I know I'm going to use one. So I went ahead and got one that I know I'm going to replace one of the other ones I use. I got some connectors that are heat seals. So when I connect wires together, I'll be able to heat seal these around the wire. That way it won't be exposed. I got some male plugs. I got a couple of outlets that are made for outside the wall. And you may be asking yourself, why are you getting outlets that are made for outside the wall? Well, ladies and gentlemen, when I built my house, I decided not to have any outlets that are inside the walls for the walls that were outside walls. So the 4 outside walls of my house have only outlets that are outside the wall outlets. And the reason I did that was for 2 reasons. Number one, I didn't want to steal any room from the outside wall as far as insulation goes. Because if you have an outlet box inside the wall, that's taking up some of your insulation room. Number two, it's a lot easier for me to work on the wiring or on the electrical part if it's outside the wall than if it's inside the wall. So if I ever have a problem or if I ever have to reroute wiring somewhere else, I can do it very easily and I don't have to try snaking it through the walls or anything like that. Now, some of my outlets in my house are inside the wall, and those are outlets that are on inside rooms of the house. You know, inside walls of the house that are not facing outside, where the other side of the wall is not exposed to the elements. I do have some of those, but they're very easy to work on because when I built the house, I made sure that if I ever had to work on it, I would be able to get to it easily. So I bought 2 of these, and I also bought a surge protector. Okay? And ladies and gentlemen, this is for a project that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be doing a video about that, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I'll tell you what it is right now. When I do the video, you guys will be able to see how I use all of this stuff in that video. I'm going to take my solar generators and I'm going to hardwire them to certain parts of my house where I want them to be. All right? That way, I don't have to hook things into the solar generator. I can just put my solar generators in one spot in the house, have them energized at all times, and then all I have to do is plug my appliance that I want electricity for, if we lose electricity, into that outlet that I went ahead and hardwired, and it's right there. Plug and play. So this is going to take a little bit of work for me to do. I honestly dislike doing electrical work, but this is something that I'm going to tackle because I know that in the end, it will pay off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing special. these are just plastic drop cloths that are 9 feet by 12 feet long. And I wasn't going to the store to pick this up specifically. I went to pick up all the electrical stuff. But I saw that this was on sale for $5. And you have 5 plastic drop cloths that are 9 by 12 that are 0.7 mils. So they're not very thick. But what I was thinking is you can always use plastic for one thing or another. One thing that I know that you can use plastic for that is for really cheap is taking one of these, cutting them in half, and being able to make a poncho with half of one of these and just some 550 cord or a cordage of whatever kind you have. So I think this was a great deal. It's something that you can always use if you have laying around. You can use this to make a cheap rain catchment system. All right, you can use this with some cordage, 5-gallon bucket, and you can make a cheap rain catchment system with just one of these or with half of these. So I thought this was a great deal for $5. I picked up a bag that came with 5 of them. Now, let me show you what I really am excited to show you, because there are a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and I want to make sure that you get this information. It's some information that I put out in the past, but I really want to show you this. This is a Berkey water filter. I already had one set, and I was waiting for the price to come back down on these, right? Because for a little bit there, the price shot up, right? So this is a set of 2, and it cost me $128 for a set of 2. Let me tell you a couple quick things about a Berkey water filter. This water filter will purify 3,000 gallons of water. That's what they're rated for. However, if you learn how to clean them, and there's a lot of videos out there where they show you how to clean these properly. There's a really good video out there where the guy uses vinegar to clean these and back flush them. You can get a lot more life out of them. However, each is rated for 3,000 gallons. So that means that for $128, you're getting yourself 6,000 gallons of potable drinking water. I looked on Amazon today, and for a large family-size Berkey water filter system that comes with 2 of these, along with the container, with the stainless steel container, ladies and gentlemen, they're asking $659, I believe, or $600 and something dollars, plus shipping. That's almost $700 for a Berkey water system. And this right here, what you're looking at, this is the working part of a Berkey water system. This is what makes the water good. It's $128. So it's roughly 1/5 the price of what you're paying when you buy the entire system. Now, the system I was looking at was a 6-gallon system that came with 2 filters, which I think that's their biggest system. Now, I just want to show you, for those of you that haven't seen this yet, I want to show you how you can make your own system for about 1/3 or less of the price. Really, for about 1/4 of the price. Now, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave a video that I did a while back, probably over a year ago, I think it was maybe, where I build my own water filtration system using the Berkey water filters. All right, remember now, the Berkey water filters cost me $128. That spigot that you see in the bottom cost me, I think it was $11. So we're at $139. The 2 buckets, those are 2 food grade buckets, right? So they're safe for you to put water in them, right? Those 2 buckets cost me about $11. So we're at about $150. The blue lid cost me $2, $152. That lid on the top is a gamma lid. You can't see it because I don't have enough room for the camera, but let me show you. There's a gamma lid, and it's a twist-on lid. This cost me like $10. So we're at about $160 to make something yourself that only takes you a few minutes. All right? This, for me to make from scratch, would probably take me about 10 minutes. Unfortunately, the video I'm going to refer you to is about, I think, like 45 minutes long. But that's because I was explaining to you every single thing you're going to need. And really, the only thing you need, as far as tools to build this system, is a drill with a spade bit and a small wrench. That's all you need to make this system. And let me just show you how it works. You drill 2 holes in the bucket that are the size of the spout that comes outside of the filter. Then you place your filter in there and you screw them on. And when you screw them on, it seals that hole, so no bad water will leak through there. The only thing that will come out of these is the clean water. You put this on top of your water reservoir. This is the one that collects your clean water. You put your dirty water inside of the top, and then you have clean water. You have a 5-gallon water system that gives you water just as clean, in my opinion, as the Berkey water system that you're paying $650 for. And for this, we're looking at, I think we ended up at about $160. So you're spending less than 1/4 of the price, taking 15-20 minutes doing it yourself with the internal parts that the Berkey water system offers in their stainless steel system. And ladies and gentlemen, the water that comes out of there is just as good as the water that comes out of one of those Berkey systems. Now, with this system, just like the Berkey, if you wanted to add a fluoride filter, you can add a fluoride filter to it as well. No harm. And it is just so easy to make that I hope that you guys take advantage of that and get yourselves the internal parts that you need in order to make your own, instead of paying 4 times more than what it would cost you to get the same results. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you on this payday prep, that I think is the most important thing for you to be able to prep. Is something to make sure that you have potable water. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope you got some ideas. Thank you very much for joining in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great week ahead. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.